these simulations with a lot of real former cabinet members that shows that this vulnerability is quite significant. Well, he was preaching to the choir, because when I had first started operations at FedEx in 1973, the business plan was perfect. I had 3 separate marketing analyses, but what I didn't count on was the Arab oil embargo.
And the price of oil went up 4 times.
And it almost killed us in our cradle. So I was very familiar with the vulnerabilities of importing oil. And so what General Kelly asked me to do was to be his co-chair, working with SAFE and Robbie Diamond, who is the, I guess you would call it, the public policy entrepreneur, still at the helm. And I can't say enough about Robbie and how he brought this issue to the forefront and now has continued dealing with these critical issues. So I signed on to be the co-chairman with General P.X. Kelly. I was a civilian co-chair. I recruited about 8 business executives, including Herb Kelleher, my friend from Southwest Airlines, Mike Eskew from UPS, and on and on. And then General Kelly did the same thing with generals and admirals who had spent a lot of their careers protecting the oil lanes, the oil trades, Navy, Air Force, admirals and generals. And so we developed, as our mission mandate, call for a national energy security policy. And it was pretty straightforward. 1, produce as much oil and gas in the Western Hemisphere as possible. And this was pre-fracking, of course, this incredible technology that changed everything that you have so brilliantly written about and articulated these issues as recently as your article about the transition in foreign policy. So the first was to produce as much oil and gas in the Western Hemisphere as we could. That, of course, made every environmentalist in the country mad at us. The second was to use less of it. And so we advocated the reimposition of fuel efficiency standards, and that made every pro-oil person mad at us. And the third was to develop alternatives, and our scholarship at SAFE indicated to us the only real alternative to internal combustion engines and using fossil fuels was electrification. And so we set up a subordinate unit called electrification. And then our group was very influential in getting the Bush 43 administration to pass legislation in 2007 in support of all 3 of them.
Well, and it's quite remarkable to see how all of these initiatives from SAFE have played out today. And by the way, today the Western Hemisphere produces more oil than the Middle East.